you know, and I'm still grieving, and I'm sure that I will be, because it's your mum. It was heartbreaking and hard, and it was also really joyful. And there were moments, of course, where it was hilarious. Could really have hysterical laughter about things. And it was painful and enjoyable. It's, you know, it's hard to describe, but that's what it was like. And so I'm glad that it was a good death experience for her and for us, the rest of the family. The very first day that lockdown was announced, my mum had to go to the hospital in Merthyr to get the results of a biopsy. And I thought, how strange that she has to go there when no one else is allowed to leave their house. Obviously that's because it was bad news, and she had cancer. The biopsy showed that she had cancer of the esophagus. She started going for appointments and lots of tests and scans, and then she had chemotherapy and radiotherapy over a 6-week period that summer. And then around about October, November time, after some more tests, it was found that the chemo and the radiotherapy hadn't really done anything. And so the next step was to go for an operation, and they had to be sure that she was fit and healthy enough for this operation actually as well, because she would have been 77 at that stage. It's a big operation. The operation itself was going to last 8 hours, and then it was like 2 weeks in hospital to recover, because they actually remove your entire esophagus, take your stomach out of your body and stretch it to become your new esophagus. And then you just have this tiny bit of stomach left, then it goes into the bowel, wherever it goes. And that's what they did. They did that. So they felt like they had got the whole cancer out by doing that massive operation. So she went through that experience. So that was about a year. And then it was going to be like a year recovery time, really. That's what they said, about 12 months recovery time. So lots of things, there were lots of side effects from that kind of operation, and that the way that the intestines and stuff work next after that. So there was a few, problems afterwards, but she dealt with them all really well. And we just had some laughs about things that happened, like fainting in the toilets and, cleaning up after her and things like that. She always dealt with it really well. She made it easier for all of us by being brave. And so it was in November that she'd been for a couple more tests. And in November 2022, she was diagnosed with a second cancer of the pancreas. And then it had spread to the liver as well. You could have gone for some more chemo or chemotherapy. But after chats with all the people involved, she decided not to go for that, and just to have a nice quality of life for however long that might be, which was just going to be a maximum of 6 months. And so in the end, it was about 2 months. So for December, through all of this, she'd been like pretty much fine, and walking still, and always recovering, seeming to recover really well and go back to all the things she loved doing. For December, she really just stayed at home every day, and was just at home. Started to lose a lot of weight. She was already really small, but I lived so close, and her partner, we were able to care for her at home. So for the whole month of December, we did that. And then on the 28th of December, she just got up to go to the loo and she couldn't stand. She couldn't stand and her legs had just gone then. And that was it. She never stood up again. So that was really quick and really sudden as well. And that was the cancer. So we got the doctor round and she was already being seen by the palliative care team, or the Macmillan nurses were coming round. And they said, so this could be time now to go into the hospital or a hospice or palliative care. And a bed had just become available at the local hospital here in Llandrindod, which was amazing because the nearest hospice for something like that is near Hereford, which is about an hour away. So they do have palliative care here. So we kind of just said, yeah, let's do this because we won't be able to cope with her at home if she can't move. And also, it makes you feel better for her to be in a place where they can manage her pain really well. I obviously wasn't allowed to go into her house, and so we just had to have chats through the window. And I think, it was. I never really thought about it at the time because I didn't know she was going to die soon. So we just got on with it. But that did make it harder, so much harder, when you look back on it, that you couldn't be there with her. She is so strong. She was so strong. Possibly in a way she was glad to do it by herself, to receive that news and to go for all the treatments. Sometimes it's, it can be a good thing to do that on your own. It was tricky when she had to go for tests and things. At one point she had some fluid on the lung and she had to go to Hereford to have a look at that sort of thing. And then that's tricky because it's a different kind of health authority or something. And so the communication then is really hard. You have to wait for them to send that to your doctor and XYZ. So the travelling involved when you live in a bit of a rural location and the way things need to link up, everyone speaking to each other, could have gone a bit better. It's a really weird time because it is half scary and you feel like you're in limbo and you never know which questions to ask until later. She was really brave about it and she said that she was happy to be kind of facing death in this way because she felt like it was, for all of us, it was actually like a good death experience. Because we knew it was coming. You can't prepare for it. That's not a thing that you can prepare for. But it was actually a really good experience to have that time with her at the end. I've had really good support here from the Bracken Trust in Llandrindod. They gave my mum excellent support while she was going through the cancer and all the treatments. And they said to her, this is available to your family as well. But we didn't do anything about it until after she died. And then I've been coming here and the support has been fantastic. And I think that has helped. And then also how well my mum coped with it all made it really easy for the rest of us. And yeah, because when I think about it, I would still do anything to have her still here, of course, and for me to be able to phone her up and tell her all about the comedy things that have been happening. And then, so I feel sad when I realise she's not here and I can't just phone her or go and see her. And I feel really sad. Sometimes it's really painful and I feel like it was too soon. But what usually ends up happening is I'll be thinking about her then and some hilarious memory will come up about her time in hospital or coming to the end, and she'd be like, you know, after I've gone, Cecilia, you must, I'm sure you'll miss me and you'll think about me lots, but then just think about how you never have to go to another bookshop in your life if you don't want to. And things like that. So yeah, I usually end up, something will make me smile about it. And I'm so grateful to have had that time with her in the hospital at the end. Definitely it has helped with the grieving. She did a little interview for somebody from Improving the Cancer Journey Paris, and there was this quote that really stayed with me, where she said she'd spent a lot of time waiting over the 2 years, waiting for test results and waiting for treatment and waiting for diagnosis and results and biopsies and stuff. And then at the end, she wasn't waiting for anything. She was just at peace with it all, really. She had made her peace, so she was ready. She felt like she was ready. And I think what mattered most as well was she was happy at the thought of not being a burden. She wasn't a burden, but, you know, she could have been if it had all gone a different way. It probably wouldn't have felt like that to us, but she would have felt like that to hospital staff, or to if she had to go into a home or whatever. So she was really happy to not be going to be a burden to anyone. My mum would like to be remembered as somebody who lived life to the full, definitely. And that doesn't mean that every day was full, but that she loved life, and she said herself, she'd had a really good one. You know, she'd had a really great time looking back. She'd had lots of wonderful opportunities, and there'd been a lot of hard times, but overall, she'd had a great life. So she would want to be remembered as generally being a pretty happy, lively person. She had a knack with people, definitely. And so I think she liked to spread like her joy for life to other people and in the community. And that's how she will be remembered, definitely.